Several years ago, a young man from Hamilton, Ohio, wrote me and told me about a lawn maintenance business which he had established using Toro equipment. He suggested that Toro really ought to consider extending this kind of a program across the country to other teenagers. And out of this really became the seed of the Toro's Young Entrepreneur Program. It's a program that's now entering its third year. The name Young Entrepreneur is somewhat cumbersome, but it really is descriptive of what we're trying to do with the program. For the purpose of the Young Entrepreneur Program is to give teenagers an opportunity to get work in the summer, which has sometimes been difficult in recent periods. The program is a joint effort, really, by Toro, its distributors, and in many cases its own dealers. But through that joint effort, why we feel that we're making a contribution in a way that's consistent with our business, and we're terribly encouraged about the future of the Toro Young Entrepreneur Program across the country.
Okay, before we go any further, I want to pass out Toro's booklet on lawn maintenance program for teenagers, which just passes around.
There is no charge at all for any aspect of the program. The student who enrolls in the program goes to classes that are sponsored by Toro at no charge to himself. He receives materials and instructions on how to use the equipment, how to set up the business at no charge to himself. And the main thing that he has to put forward is effort and dedication to the program. In designing the program, it's been very important to us that the program be open to all people who would like to become involved in it. The only restrictions that we have are that we do require that the teenagers be in the 14-year-old to 18-year-old category. Part of the reason for that is that we are concerned with the ability of a teenager to operate the equipment, so we have found through experience that 14 to 18 years is a very good age range in which to have the program.
Let's take a look at Toro's booklet on the lawn maintenance program for teenagers. In this booklet, you're going to find
the curriculum that was used in setting up the Young Entrepreneur Program was very carefully thought out and researched, both by people within Toro, but also by using outside resources. It essentially divides into three basic areas: safety, which is a major consideration in any program of this nature. Second area is how to go about setting up the business. And the third area is the technology of maintaining lawns and lawn equipment. A very important ingredient in the total curriculum of training that the young entrepreneur gets involves safety. And our safety courses, the aspect of the course dealing with safety, really relates to the individual, to the operator, to the young entrepreneur, and then secondly to the lawn itself, and thirdly to the equipment. And these three ingredients together are what are terribly important for the young entrepreneur to understand as he approaches safe operating practices in the course of his business.
I want to talk to you about some of the safety features that Toro's built into this machine. But before we start taking anything off of here, I want you to remember to always turn off this machine before you do anything with it. Before you remove this bag, before you clean it, always turn off the machine and pull that spark plug wire.
Toro has long been concerned with safety, not only for the operator, but also for bystanders in the design of its equipment. And we believe that we have taken a leadership position within the industry, but by the same token, safety really relates to how the machine is used and how it's cared for by the operator himself. So we have stressed safety in all of our training, and thus far we have found that the students are extremely receptive to it and very respectful of both the issue and the equipment. Another aspect of the training which the young entrepreneur gets involves how do you go about setting up your business. It entails some training in salesmanship.
I want to cover some of the things that are important for you to present to the customer, some of the things we talked about earlier.
It entails some training in how you go about advertising your services, and probably most importantly, it also talks to the student about how does he go about keeping score of his business, the record-keeping aspects of the young entrepreneur's efforts over the course of the summer. And it also teaches the young entrepreneur in the method of pricing his services, which is a very critical thing because the whole tenet of the program is to have the young entrepreneur come out with a profit at the end of the summer. And what he's basically selling is his time and his effort and his skills and resources. The record-keeping aspects of it are really fairly simple. We provide the student with a very simple worksheet, one that covers accounts payable, one that covers accounts receivable, and then a very simple profit and loss statement, which he can track through the course of the summer. We've tried not to make this too complicated for him, but yet the fundamentals of record-keeping are captured and utilized by the student as he goes into his business during the course of the summer. The third and last aspect of the training that the young entrepreneur receives relates to the whole techniques of the business. It relates to how does he go about maintaining the lawn, the technology of lawn maintenance. And in that regard, we teach him such things as how to handle fuel safely, how to perform preventive maintenance and care of the equipment so that it will last longer. We also get into such things as the agronomy aspects of his job, teaching him something about types of grasses, what kind of fertilizers to use if this happens to become part of his services, how to go about seeding a lawn and overseeding a lawn if this becomes a necessary adjunct to his lawn maintenance business. We teach him things about watering grasses, what frequency of watering and what types of participation rates of water are necessary.
Many people who have trouble with their lawn have that trouble because they don't know how to properly cut their grass.
And we also go into the techniques of lawn mowing, for there are very different kinds of lawn mowing techniques that can be employed in any given situation. We find that all of these aspects have been very well received by the student because they also extend his earning capability by offering services besides just lawn mowing. And in many of the instances, the young entrepreneurs, they have gone into such things as trimming and edging, watering, they've gone into flower garden care, cleaning eaves, washing windows, and a whole variety of services which one wouldn't necessarily expect would initially be part of a lawn mowing business, but are very natural offshoots of that business because he is a young entrepreneur and he ought to go about running his business in an entrepreneurial, aggressive fashion. The diploma which the young entrepreneur gets at the end of the course, which certifies the completion of training requirements which he has, is useful more than just a decoration on the wall for him. It's useful in terms of taking it to his Toro dealer for an allowance against the equipment he might wish to purchase, but it's also an important selling tool because he can show that certificate to the prospective customer that he may be soliciting. And Toro is a well-known name in lawn care businesses, and it certifies to the homeowner that here's a young man or woman who has had training in how to take care of lawns. It certifies that it's somebody who can use equipment safely and with proper care of the equipment, and it also certifies that the young entrepreneur understands the techniques of running a lawn maintenance business, which really will serve the homeowner in his best interest in the most effective way possible. So the certificate is a very meaningful document. It does create selling opportunities, and it does give him an economic advantage in terms of equipping himself to run his business most effectively. After that, he's ready to go into business. And we work carefully with him through the course of the summer in varying degrees depending on his needs and requirements. But we have counseling service available to him, both in terms of the lawn mowing techniques, bookkeeping, and in other ways, so that he isn't cast totally adrift, that he has some professional guidance through the course of the summer, and he can use that and avail himself of that assistance just as much as he wants to. As we mentioned earlier, the Young Entrepreneur Program is open to all teenagers in the age of 14 to 18 years old. This is boys and girls and teenagers of every economic class. And we found that in all of our cases, in the early stages of introducing the Young Entrepreneur Program, which now has included well over 300 students, that have a uniform interest in making money. And it's terribly difficult today for teenagers to find jobs in the economy the way it's presently postured. Their reasons for wanting to make money vary broadly, as they do in the interest range that all teenagers have at this time. There are some who are interested in building a college fund, and we have had several instances of young entrepreneurs who have earned well in excess of $1,000 in the course of a summer, which becomes a very meaningful contribution to a college education, which they might undertake at a later date. In other instances, the teenagers are primarily interested in purchasing a car, a bicycle, or some other form of transportation. We have other cases where the teenager's primary motivation is to get outdoor equipment, or clothes, or all of the other things that teenagers have an interest in buying. And it's most important, however, that they all want some sense of economic independence, and the Young Entrepreneur Program is really a way that they can achieve that objective and to do it on their own efforts and with their own work.
Leaf, when you finish the garden and the lawn, I'll have some more things for you to do.
Okay.
I hope what you have just seen gives you some sense of the excitement that we feel for the Young Toro Entrepreneur Program. The enjoyment of being in business for yourself can only be experienced by the doing of it. Toro and its distributors can give you the tools to be in business for yourself and to have a successful business. But the full degree of your success depends really on your commitment and the effort you put into it. And it's for this reason that Toro has decided to offer an $1,000 award to the most outstanding young entrepreneur of the year. It's an award that I'd like personally to be able to give to you. So on behalf of Toro, its distributors, and its dealers, why, we wish you the greatest success as you enter your business.
Everybody write down that phone number. Wow, that was something else. Let me start rewinding that. Hi, I'm Skip Elsheimer of AV Geeks. I collect old educational and instructional and whatever that last thing was. Films on 16 millimeter. You can see it's actually rewinding behind me on the telecine. The name of this film was the Toro Company's Young Entrepreneur Program, Teenagers. And so it taught you how to, well, what's interesting is it's not meant for, I don't think it was meant for teenagers. I think it's meant for Toro shop owners as something they could do to educate kids, to have this program, and then somehow lock the kids into some sort of loan agreement for Toro equipment. Entrepreneurs. So anyways, this had nothing to do with what tonight's show is. Tonight is, we do theme shows based on different things. On Friday, we actually celebrated Bill Cosby's birthday by showing a film called A Day with Bill Cosby that was made in the late 60s, 70s, which is basically all about drugs. Bill Cosby brought a bunch of kids in, and then had a doctor, a priest, and a doctor explain about the differences between good drugs and bad drugs. And the irony was very thick. Very, very thick in the air. So, yes. All right. So tonight's theme is films about feet and toes. I've been wanting to do this show for a while. I do live screenings in front of people, but I never thought anybody would be enthused enough to come to a show like this. So you, the internet, are my test market. If you like it, tell me in the comments. If you don't like it, tough. I'm going to show them anyways. I I guarantee you it will be interesting. If you stick out for it, you will be rewarded. I don't know. You'll see stuff you've never seen before. I can guarantee you that. This first film is the one that kind of gave me that idea of doing this. There was these Encyclopedia Britannica films that were made in the late 60s and early 70s where Encyclopedia Britannica was traditionally very square. It was Encyclopedia Britannica. But in the 60s and 70s, they went a little crazy with their content. I think they hired younger filmmakers who were more hip and more into experimental types of stuff. And this film, and there's another one in this series I'll be showing, maybe tells a little too much about the filmmaker. I don't know. But it is about toes and about experience. Textural experience. And it's pretty great. I mean, it's fun for kids. Subtext, I don't know. Maybe we can talk about that in the comments. But here is Toes Tell. Let me type some things here before we get started so you guys who are keeping score at home can know what I'm showing. If I can spell it correctly. There you go. All right, enjoy. Wow, any questions? That was, that gets more and more insane every time I watch it. Keep forgetting about the hippie artist at the end. But, yow. Such a great film. And it's fun, you know, so the thing about films like this is they, we're going to watch it in reverse. They're designed to get kids excited to tell stories. It's part of the language arts thing. So you get the kids to watch this, and then you get them to talk about, like, what do you like to touch with your feet, or what do you enjoy? You know, tell us what, you know, tell us a story about your feet, what your feet did today. Or your toes did today. You know, it's designed to be provocative for kids and playful, and that's certainly what this is. For adults, it's provocative, obviously in a different way, which is really why I enjoy showing stuff like this. Because adults get all freaked out. So there you go. So that was Toes Tell. Such a great film. All right, man. What do I got? What do I got here? I got a bunch of films I pulled, and some I couldn't even find. I had like a list of 20 films, and I couldn't dare show you all the films. This is probably more contemporary, and yeah, we'll see. Let's see what this one is like. So, you know, as I'm doing here, if you don't know who I am, what I do, these are old 16mm films that were shown in schools, and I'm threading this on a telecine. Telecine is a machine that has a camera in it that is focused on the frame of the film, and it has a LED that pulses in sync with the frame so that you don't get a flicker. Because film is generally at 24 frames a second, and video is usually 29, 9, 7, 6, blah, blah, you know, 30. So what happens is your eyes get used to it. Your brain accommodates for the flicker. Video cameras don't, and so they capture the flicker. You see a flicker if you aim a video camera at a film projection, and so this diminishes that. And the camera is also high quality, and it's focused directly on the frame, and it's balanced and all that stuff. And I can adjust the colors of the LEDs in the camera to give you a better experience. So anyways, this next film is, what is it? It is Healthy Feet, Happy Feet. Enjoy.
The part of the foot that takes a pounding and supports weight is the heel. Each toe has its own protective nail. Of the 206 bones in the human body, 52 of them are in the feet. They are connected to form an arch from the heel to the toes. Strong muscles, sensitive nerves and blood vessels connect the foot to the ankle and leg. Everything is covered with skin and toenails. The feet can be further protected with socks and shoes. Most animals don't need shoes. Their feet are very well suited to their special needs. Elephant feet are just right for a big, heavy animal. The feet of a deer are just right for a light, swift-footed animal. An elephant would certainly look strange with the feet of a deer. And a deer would look funny with the feet of an elephant. There are many kinds of animal feet. The eagle has clutching feet. The duck has swimming feet. This bird, the cassowary, has feet well suited for walking and running. Dogs' feet have thick pads and strong claws, perfect for running and for digging too. The sea lion's feet don't look like feet at all, but they are. If you look very closely, you can even see the toes. These feet are perfect for a swimming animal. Our feet help us swim too, and with swim fins, shaped like a sea lion's feet. A person can swim much, much faster. The guinea pig has unusual toes. It has 3 in back and 4 in front. Each toe has a sharp little toenail. The badger is a digging animal, and it keeps its claws trimmed naturally by digging. But if our toenails were never cut, they'd just keep growing and growing until... This boy's mother knows the right way to trim toenails. Regularly, she cuts them straight across and not too far back at the corners. That might cause them to hurt. The feet of wild horses are specially adapted for running over the ground. But domestic horses often have to walk on hard, paved roads. So, they need shoes. Each hoof is trimmed and filed before the blacksmith attaches the shoe. The metal shoe is pounded into shape so it will be a perfect fit, not too big or not too small. After the blacksmith very carefully checks the fit, the shoe is nailed to the hardened hoof. This does not hurt the horse. With shoes, the horse's feet are protected against hard surfaces. People need shoes for the same reason horses need them. Luckily, we don't have to have our shoes nailed to our feet. Each foot is carefully measured. When shoes don't fit properly, toes and heels may hurt. If shoes are too short, the toes may not only hurt, but they may grow crooked. And if shoes are too big, the feet will move around inside and may even cause painful blisters on the heels. So it's very important to wear shoes that are not too small or not too big. Shoes should be just a little longer than the longest toe. Not only should shoes fit properly, socks should too. They shouldn't be too tight nor too loose. Sometimes it's nice to go barefoot. Sunshine and air are healthy for feet. Clean, fresh grass feels so good. Most places are too hard, too dirty, or too dangerous to go barefoot.
So, wow. That was from the 80s. Somebody commented the colors looked really good. It's because at that time period there were other film stocks besides Eastman Color that were inexpensive, and so they would use another film stock that was more color fast, where the dyes wouldn't fade to red. A lot of people who watch AV Geek shows are like, don't you have any films that have any color at all? And yes, occasionally I do. A lot of them are surprisingly from the 80s and forward, or from like the early 60s and forward, like when they're in Kodachrome. But there's this middle period where Kodak made this film stock that was inexpensive, and so these are all supposed to be ephemeral films and not supposed to last that long. You know, show them a couple of years and then throw them away. So they use cheap film stock, and that's why they fade red. So, yeah, happy feet, healthy feet. I think that might be the only one that's all about the health of feet. I believe, I'm not sure. Let's look at my list. There's another film called Healthy Feet that I think I did not find in time, which we won't show this time, but let's see, Happy Feet, Healthy Feet, Stanton Films. Sometimes I'm lucky, I get a guide that's printed on the inside of the can, and I get things like questions to ask. So the purpose of this film is to develop an appreciation and respect for feet, to encourage proper foot care, to show how animal feet are adapted for special needs, explore a variety of ways we use our feet. Then there are basic ideas that are presented, and this talks about the basic ideas. Now, some of these films will actually have questions to ask the students and potential activities that you can do with the students. So there you go. This one we're gonna go down the animal path a little bit more. Occasionally I like to do a theme show that's not, I just take a word and I enter it into my database and I see like what pops up, and it spans different genres, and it makes for a really interesting, melange, potpourri, casserole, compilation of stuff. So this one seemed to be different than everything else I was showing. So here we go. Enjoy. This is your feet's too big. But first, a bunch of leader. Here we go. It's getting there.
Who's that walking around here? Mercy. Sounds like baby patter. Baby elephant patter, that's what I calls it. Say, a up in Harlem at a table for two. There were four of us, me, your big feet, and you. From your ankle up, I'll say you sure are sweet. From there down, there's just too much feet. Yes, your feet's too big. Don't want you 'cause your feet's too big. Can't use you 'cause your feet's too big. I really hate you 'cause your feet's too big. Yeah. Where'd you get 'em? Your girl, she likes you. She thinks you're nice. Got what it takes to be in paradise. She said she likes your face. She likes your rig. Man, oh man, them things are too big. Oh, your feet's too big. Don't want you 'cause your feet's too big. Mad at you 'cause your feet's too big. I hate you 'cause your feet's too big. My goodness, gun to gun boats. Ship. All your pedal extremities are colossal. To me, you look just like a fossil. You got me walking, talking, and sparking. 'Cause your feet too big, yeah. Come on and walk that thing. Oh, I never heard of such walking. Mercy. Your pedal extremities really are obnoxious. One never knows who one.
Oops. Stopped it too soon. There's a closing credit. But wow, that was great. I love Fats Waller. And none of the... my database did not mention that Fats Waller... This is based on a Fats Waller song. Now, I think I knew the title as a Fats Waller song, but sometimes, you know... Diversion, distraction, I don't know. That was great. And all these films have great color. I'm going to have to do something about that and show a film that has crappy color just to kind of maintain my reputation. All right. That was real good. I don't know where I got that from. Oh. Charlotte Public Library. They got rid of all their films. This next film, since we're talking about animals' feet, deals with animals' feet, kind of transitioned into that. But it's okay. It's okay. Right, next film is, I'm going to type it while I tell you what it is. It is... What kind of feet does a bear have? All right, enjoy.
What kind of feet does a bear have? If I have bare feet, what kind of feet does a bear have? Boy feet? Girl feet? Baby feet? When I wish on a star, what does the star wish on? A wishbone? A birthday candle? Another star? If my mommy says, no monkey shine, what does a monkey's mommy say? No children shine? When I have a cold, does the cold have me? If I run like a bunny, how does a bunny run? Like water? Like a clock? Like my daddy when he's late for a train? If I mind my P's and Q's, what will happen to the rest of the alphabet? If I act like a clown, how does a clown act? Like a seal? Or an elephant? Or my teacher in school? If I'm cute as a button, how would I look on my winter coat? If I sing like a bird, how does a bird sing? Like my mommy in the shower? If I spin like a top, does a top get dizzy? Or fall down? Or see things all whirlied together? When I'm watching the sunset, what is the sun watching? Me? My house? The moon? If I'm quiet as a mouse, how does a mouse sound? Like snow? Or like the library? Or like my room at night? If I watch my step, what will happen to it when I go around the corner? If I sleep like a log, how does a log sleep? In a bed? With pajamas? And a goodnight kiss? kind of feet does a bear have?
Wow. Great. So there's a whole series of these that I have with different celebrities. John Davidson. I feel like there's a Bill Cosby one in there. There's a Victor Borgia one. Yeah, there's a variety of them. I don't think I've ever actually compiled them all to see how many I have, but yeah. Wow, we're kind of burning through these pretty quick. Most of these are short. I might have to go pull a couple more films if I can. We might have to delve into the world of shoes instead of feet. If you're just joining us, I'm Skip Alzheimer, AV Geeks. I collect old films, literal film, and I delight in showing them to folks like you. There is a place to support us with Patreon, but you can also contact me for at avgeeks@gmail.com, and we accept Venmo and Cash App and Facebook. PayPal. So there's lots of different ways to support us. Another way to support us is just tell people about what we do. If you support us financially, then you will help us in buying, acquiring more films and paying for shipping for more films. Films like the Toro film that I showed earlier, the Toro lawnmower film for young entrepreneurs who want to build their empire mowing lawns using Toro lawn mowing equipment. So, yeah. Ooh. All right. So earlier I showed Toes Tell. Such a really great film. This next one is it annoying that I do this? Like type as I tell you this. Let's see how poor my typing is. Fantasy of Feet. Again, it's another one in this series of whacked out Encyclopedia Britannica films from the late 60s. Enjoy.
πως είσαι μάγκας, είσαι και μπελαλής, πως γυρίζεις στις ταβέρνες, είσαι και μερακλής.
Everybody ready? This is the last go-round. Four ladies chain, grand chain across, turn 'em, you chain 'em back. Everybody join hands, circle up 8 and 8, hand rings, circle to the left. Reverse, single file, lady in the lead. When you get back home, face the partner, do-sa-do. Now turn to the corner, do an Allemande left. Come back and a right or left grand, round the ring.
Woo, cut that close. Sorry. So I was looking for some more feet stuff. So let me rewind this. Actually, more shoes. We've delved into we're going into some shoe territory here. So I was in the back, where all the films are, and the equipment is all up front. So I was rushing to try to find something. So, what'd you think of Fantasy of Feet? Was it everything you thought it would be? Would you like to see more in that series? I have Let's Talk Who Shoes. I have Magic Sneakers. This one I don't know what this is. I might put this one. All right. Anyways, enough of the inner dialogue. I do have a film about shoes. It's great, and it's in black and white. Although I think it was made in the 70s. Maybe on my notes it says. 1977, made 1977, but they shot in black and white, probably for budgetary reasons, or maybe to create a tone. Black and white film was cheaper. It was easier to light, and also has a certain feel to it. So yeah, there we go. Let's watch this. It's about shoes, specifically a shoemaker. In 1977. All right, this is It's All in My Hands. Enjoy.
Tap, tap, stitch and tap, making a pair of shoes.
In the shoemaker's shop, this refrain would never stop as he tapped away, working all the day. At his bench there was he, just as busy as a bee, little time to lose with the boots and shoes. Then he tapped and he stitched, for his fingers were bewitched, and he sewed a dream into every seam, making shoes oh so easy.
Shoe repairing to me is a living. Well, it's honest work. It's honest work and hard work. And from day to day, you just don't know. Once you open up the door of that store, you don't know what to expect. Every day is a different challenge in this business. The average person today doesn't like his job, isn't happy. I enjoy coming to work in the morning because it's a challenge. That's why I like my work. I like working with my hands. A lot of my customers take my advice in repairing shoes because a lot of customers have faith in my work. Usually when they come in, they give me the bag and say, please take care of them. Whatever it needs, because they know I'll do a good job. Today there's modern machinery, and there's a whole different way of fixing shoes. When you finish a pair of shoes, at least today, you could notice the difference. The shoe looks new. It doesn't look like it's been repaired. Well, when I first started in this business, my father told me, he says, John, he says, you have to take a trade. And he says, this is a good trade. It's good as any. He says, because don't forget, you have to remember one thing. People are always walking. And he says, as long as they're walking, you'll be working. And he says, just take a little pride in your work and you'll be a success.
Well, although I've been said, and I talked to my son John, that in the future, this is going to be good trade. First, they don't want to listen to me, but little by little, he put on his head to learn the trade. And today I want to say that he come out a little profession, and I'm proud of it.
When I'm working on a pair of shoes, I feel it's like living life. I take my heart and soul into that shoe and I treat it just like it was my own. And I make a good job of it, and I do the best I could, the best of my ability, the best of my craft. Shoe repairing is more than just fixing a pair of shoes. It takes a lot of work, a lot of know-how. Some people just don't understand what goes into it. They think that's all it is just banging on a hammer and that's it. Or banging on a pair of shoes and putting a nail in a shoe. But it takes more to it than just that. There's not too many shoe repairing men around today opening up stores or anything, because once the old timers go on, that's it. What remains is an empty store with a lock on it. I think today more young kids should go into this business, or they should have schools for them to learn the trade, because it's a good trade. After all, I mean, like I said, we all can't be doctors or lawyers. I owe my success to my father, because when I was young, I never wanted to pick up a hammer or read a book or nothing. I was just like every other kid at 15 years old, stand on a corner. But today, I thank my father for breaking me into the business and showing me how, that there's more to it in life than just standing on a corner. I feel I'm playing an important role in society, because when I do a pair of shoes and they come out nice, I know the average guy outside can't do the same either. That's why I feel important. I feel like I'm wanted. The average person hasn't got the craft I have. It's all in my hands. Shoemaker today will always be. You'll need them today and you'll need them years to come, because as long as people are walking, they're wearing shoes. And as long as they're wearing shoes, they're going to need somebody to fix them. And that's me.
In the shoemaker's shop, this refrain would never stop as he tapped away, working all the day. At his bench there was he, just as busy as a bee, little time to lose with the boots and shoes. Then he tapped and he stitched, for his fingers were bewitched, and he sewed a dream into every seam, making shoes oh so neat, just like magic on her feet. And he hoped she'd know that he loved her so.
All these aluminum or rubber company sponsors. That's fascinating. Wow. Yeah, they must have gotten a grant or something. They got a grant to write. I mean, this is another reason I like collecting these films, is that they, you have some people who intentionally captured what they thought was a dying craft or dying art, something that was going away, to where there used to be shoe repair places every couple of blocks in big cities, and now there's maybe one, some old guy or some person that's doing it, and it truly is this lost art. And that was in '77, so that was 42 years ago. So, do shoe repair places still exist? Yeah, look them up, look and see, and support them if you can. I mean, the problem is most shoes that we get nowadays are mass-produced and can't really be repaired. You might be able to put a new sole on them, but boots and expensive leather shoes usually can be repaired and resized and conditioned and cleaned and all that stuff. A different time. Alright. I found some more. Alright, well, sure. We'll go down this path. There's another film about shoes. Or is it? Was the film what type of feet did a bear have? Was that really about bear's feet and animal feet? I was wrong. It was not. It was about idioms and about sayings. An inquisitive child was confused by it all. If I have bare feet, what kind of feet do a bear? What type of feet does a bear have? So this purports to be about an old woman in a shoe, but don't you believe it. It's about something else, I think, based on what I'm reading. So, enjoy.
Yes, I'm the old woman who lived in a shoe. I had so many children, I didn't know what to do. People used to ask me, "How many do you have?" And I couldn't answer. You see, I really didn't know. Did I have 5 children? Or 4? Or 10? I'd never counted them. And since I didn't really know how many children I had, I was never really sure how many bowls I'd need for their dinner. I always used to wonder, will this many be enough? Or maybe I should take out one more. I always wished I had a way to be sure, but I was just too busy to stop and think about it. Now I know you're thinking, why didn't she try counting her children? And I knew my numbers. I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But I just didn't know how to use numbers for counting things. If I did, then I would have known how many bowls I needed. I never knew. But one day, my children gave me an idea.
Look, there they are. Let's ride them.
I wondered if there were enough horses for all my sons. And then I saw how my sons found out, even though they couldn't count things either.
Here's 1 horse for me, and 1 horse for you, and 1 for you, and 1 for you, too.
You see, they matched 1 horse with each boy. That was good thinking. And then I thought, maybe I could use matching to find out how many bowls I needed. I could take my bowls outside and match them with the children. Oh, but that wasn't too good an idea. There had to be an easier way. I wondered about an idea I had that might work. So I said, "Children, children, I need your help. Would each of you please give me 1 stone?" Well, each of them did. And soon I had a handful of stones, 1 from each one of my children. And that's how I did it. The stones helped me find out how many bowls I needed. This is how it worked. I laid out the stones. Then I took out my bowls again. I matched 1 bowl with each stone. That let me be sure that I would have 1 bowl for each child, because I knew I had 1 stone for each child. Simple, wasn't it? I didn't know why I hadn't thought of that years ago. And that's when I realized that I could match the bowls with numerals in the same way. So I tried. First, I got rid of the stones. Then I put numerals in their places. Then I tried matching the numerals with the bowls, the way I matched the stones with the bowls. I kept the numerals in the right order. The right order. That was important. Then, with this bowl, I matched the numeral 1. There! With the next bowl, the numeral 2. Then, the numeral 3. It was easy. Point to a bowl, then put down a numeral. 4. And 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. And since 9 was the last numeral I matched, that meant that I had 9 bowls. And if I had 9 bowls, why, I knew how many children I had. 9! 9 children. I had 9 children, and 9 bowls for them. And I kept that number in my head. I knew I'd need 9 slices of bread, 1 for each child. But now I knew how to match each slice with a numeral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 slices of bread. I counted them. Counting is really easy when you know how to match. Oh, I was so excited about counting that I forgot I had to finish getting dinner ready.
Is dinner ready? Can we eat? We're hungry. I can't reach his hook. Me neither. Our hooks are too high. I hate bending down. Me too. Our hooks are too low.
The hooks, oh, they were another problem. But I thought maybe I could try matching again. So I imagined that all the children were gone. And then I saw how the hooks were arranged. The lowest hook was at one end, and the hooks got higher toward the other end. The hooks were arranged in order by height. Then I thought, if my children arranged themselves in order by height, the same way the hooks were arranged, why, the taller children would have hooks they could reach, and the shorter children would have hooks they could reach. And then I decided I could give each hook a numeral. And if the children always remembered their numerals, they would always be able to find their right hooks. Oh, I was so excited, but I hadn't forgotten my hungry children. All 9 of them. That day, I had the right number of bowls. Finally, it was wonderful. On one tray, I had 1, 2, 3. 3 bowls. On another tray, you guessed it, 3 bowls. And on the other one, 3 more. That helped me make a very interesting discovery. I knew that I had 3 and 3 and 3 more bowls, but I also remembered I had 9 bowls. So 9 had to be the same as 3 and 3 and 3. And then I thought, 9 children, but how many are girls and how many are boys? I had 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 girls. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 boys. And that's how I discovered 5 and 4 is also the same as 9. They're different names for the same number. Oh, there were so many things I wanted to count. And I taught my children how to do it, too. Yes, I'm the old woman who lived in a shoe. I can count my 9 children. I know what to do. They need 9 spoons and bowls and 9 slices of bread. And tonight they'll sleep snugly in 9 little beds.
Oof. Math films are hard, man. Math films are hard. I have done a film show with some good math films. I mean, you know, of course, Schoolhouse Multiplication Rock notwithstanding, there are some good ones out there. So maybe sometime I'll do that. A math one. There's this great one called Weird Number, which I love. It's so good. Let me rewind. Let me turn this down. So, wow. Yeah, we dipped our toe into some shoes. But we're going to go back to feet. But really shoes. This next film came out of the blue. I'm not quite sure where I got it. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been NYU, Northern Illinois. Oh, this might have come with a collection. A librarian who rescued a bunch of films from a college library. And I was able to get some of them. Then they held on to the rest, and then there was a flood, but they still managed to save some. Anyways, I'm happy to share it with you because it's such a great film. It's so cool, I think. I don't know. It's called Fat Feet. Fat Feet. Anybody want to hazard a guess what that's about? Fat feet? Write it in the comments, and we'll see if you're right. Don't look it up. That's cheating. Fat feet. Because when I put it on, I had no idea what it was. And this is one of the cases when I get a bunch of films, sometimes I'll get like a couple hundred or 1,000 at a time. Although a couple thousand, that's getting rarer and rarer. But mostly a couple hundred show up. So what I do is I catalog them. I don't even watch them. I just get titles off of them and get whatever information I can off a can, put it in a database, and then I flesh it out using various online databases to match titles. But I will pull films where the title is compelling, and Fat Feet is compelling. So I put this on. I really had no idea what to expect, and I was pretty floored by what I saw. So here we go, Fat Feet.
You can't make me go!
Wiggle, waggle, waggle, wow!
No parking, Mr. Bagel. Hey, it's all done! I got the stuff. Let's go! Don't come back to the boat! Oh! Take that! Out you go. Hello, sugar face. Come on, honey. Come on. Come on. back.
Help! Hey, you there! Hey, get this rope up!
Come on, Wilder. Come on, let's get some more up there. Hey, come on. Come on. Hey.
President Johnson said he would send as many men as would be necessary as...
Boing. 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 Oh!
Thank you for saving my life, mister.
That's fantastic. He wasn't even hurt at all. That's fine. Hold it up, Jake. Okay, that's it. Let's go.
Attention, please. That's your paper. What I see, please.
I'm sorry, I love that film. I really like it. Yes, it is. It's a mess. It's weird. But there's something about it, man. It's this vision. You know, Red Grooms and Mimi Gross coming up with this idea, this world. This, you know, it's almost like a Roger Rabbit type of thing. Just something about it just invokes that with me. And I guess I did a project about Red Grooms back in the day when I was in School of Design, so maybe that's why I'm biased. I think these people were well out of art school when this came out, but it's still pretty great. You switch over to color when there's all the fire and all that, so I'm a sucker for that type of thing. The film is about as old as I am. It's made in '66. Just kind of like we're gonna create this world, this where things are the way they are, and everybody has giant wooden shoes, and some of the things are animated, and some of the things are pixelated, where they have live actors and they live things, and they shoot them, get them to move a little bit, shoot them, get them to move a little bit, shoot them. It's kind of a cool thing. There's a film I have called Vicious Cycles, which also uses that technique, where it looks like a bunch of bikers who are pretending like they're on motorcycles, which is pretty fun. But I have two little short special things. One of them was an eBay purchase, and then one of them was a very special gift from my favorite animator of all time, that I've never shown anybody before. So I'll show this one first. This is why I do it, is I collect films so I can show them. Whether you like them or not. Yeah, this one is a recent acquisition, and was one of the things that made me think, like, you know what I should do? I should really do the foot show, because this one is a good opener or closer for a foot show. So, here we go. I think it's Canadian, not 100% sure. I believe it's Canadian. I think they spell things in a Canadian way. This is called Wear Safety Shoes. And it's hip. It's sexy. Enjoy. What else do you need? Have some pretty legs. Walking around in hazards, barefoot. Then you have her in a beautiful cast with flower stickers on it. Come on, what else do you need? I'm happy that somebody out there said they saw that in shop class. That's really great. Alright, I'm going to run it backwards. And I got one short film. Alright, so Snazel Films. Anybody know this? This animation company. They did animated shorts, and then they did commercials. And so this was made by an animator named Sally Cruikshank. Sally Cruikshank made one of my favorite cartoons of all time, Quasi at the Quackadero, in the 70s. She also made, excuse me, Make Me Psychic, Just Ducky. She made a bunch of animated shorts, really great. So I got in touch with her, and because I helped do a retrospect of her stuff at Anthology Film Archives in New York, and so she sent me some stuff on tape, on videotape that I digitized for her, and as a thank you, she sent me this rare film. And it's rare because it's a commercial. It's a TV commercial. And we'll see the quality of it. It's kind of got some issues, but it's about shoes. You know, I could have done a whole nother show about just shoes, too. So. Let's see if we can do this. This just hit me at the last moment. Let's see. Alright, see if this works. Alright. This is a commercial, I think, for Connie's shoes. And I don't think this is out in the world. I think that there was a few of these made. So here we go. Enjoy Connie's shoes. It's very short.
Wow! After a great deal of soul searching, look what Connie Shoes has come up with. Soles. Bigger than ever soles, on more than ever styles, like clog soles, crepe soles, platform soles, chunky soles, sports soles. All kinds of soles for every kind of fashion mood. So when someone asks you, what's up? Just say, Connie Shoes. Connie? Connie. What's up in fashion? For under $20.
Unfortunately, that film was not in the best shape, which is why I had to put my finger to hold it against the gate. It's very shrunk. It's begun to shrink pretty bad, so I'm going to probably have to scan it and not be able to project it again, which is unfortunate. It happens with film. Film can be... Some film succumbs to vinegar syndrome very quickly, where it begins to shrink, and basically it was very warped in the gate, so it just kept bouncing in and out of the gate. So that breaks my heart a little bit, but it happens. I could freeze it, I guess. I don't want to think about that. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming out tonight and seeing our short show about feet and about toes. If you like what you saw, you can donate Patreon. It's kind of like a tip jar subscription service. You donate a couple of bucks a month, and that money goes towards internet, digitizing, getting more stuff online. I don't know if you on YouTube have noticed, I've been adding a bunch of stuff for work I've been doing with the Prelinger archives, but there's also a whole bunch of other stuff that we've been digitizing, and we'll start putting online this summer. Probably at least another 1,000 films from my collection, from Prelinger, and from other collectors. I've been doing digitizing work for other collectors as well. So that money that you donate to us goes to buying films on eBay and other silly things. So, you know, I'll spend it on whatever. You'll benefit from it. Maybe. I don't know. But thanks again, everybody. So the next time I'm going to do this show, I think is going to be a month from now, maybe August 15th, potentially. We'll see. There's going to be some traveling I'm going to be doing coming up, some film related, some holiday related, but I will definitely do some sort of streaming event in August. So keep an eye out